Hi reception, it is time for our jigsaw lesson. I was so impressed last week with all your towers that you were building out of anything you could find in your house. You managed to build really tall towers, some even taller than you. And I know some of you found it a little bit frustrating, which meant you got a little bit yellow inside, maybe even a little bit blue, a little bit red, because you were feeling like it was too hard and you couldn't do it. But what I really liked was that you all carried on trying. So we're going to do our jigsaw piece again today. It's still dreams and goals, but it's jigsaw piece number 2, and it's called Never Giving Up. We're going to start with a story, and our story is called The Hare and the Tortoise. There's the hare and there's the tortoise. Shall we find out what our story is all about? Harry Hare loved running more than anything in the world. I think he'd be quite fast, do you? Every morning he woke up and went for a run. Then he ran to work, ran around all day, and ran home. Like our Daily Mile, but all day. Everyone said that he was the fastest hare around, maybe the fastest hare in history. Harry, you're amazing. Harry was sure of it. Well, you know, I do a lot of training. Tom Tortoise worked with Harry. All day long he heard Harry boasting. He didn't think Harry was so special. I beat my own record again. That's Harry the hare. Harry was always laughing at him. Take your time, Tommy. I'll just run on the spot until you're ready. Oh, because tortoises aren't that fast, are they? One morning, Harry was feeling very pleased with himself. He ran to work in record time. I really need some extra heavy shoes to slow me down. I must be the fastest creature in the world, he boasted. Let's have a race to prove it. Come on, who wants to race? Oh, Hedgehog doesn't look like she wants to race, does she? Tommy Tortoise doesn't either. Harry couldn't believe it when Tom Tortoise plodded over. I'll race you, Harry, he said quietly. Tommy Slowcoach? Are you serious? Asked Harry. You wouldn't even get started. Ha ha ha, that's a good one. I mean it, said Tom. Let's have the race next Saturday at 10 o'clock. You choose where to race. Well, we'll all have a good laugh anyway. It's not very kind, is it? For the next few days, the animals talked about nothing else. Has Tommy gone crazy? The story was in all the newspapers. It was even on the television. Harry trained extra hard. He woke up early in the mornings and went out running in the evenings too. He knew he would win, but he wanted to win by miles. He chose a good long course for the race. There's a map. Tom Tortoise didn't seem to be training at all. Perhaps he thought there was no point. Don't you think you should exercise a little? At last Saturday arrived. All Harry's friends came to watch him race. Tom's friends were there too, but they didn't look quite so happy. It was a beautiful day. Harry saw some television cameras and did a little running, especially for them. Tom just kept on talking to his friends. Soon it was time for the race to begin. Harry was already at the starting line. Tom slowly ambled over. Come on, Tommy, let's not start late. On your marks, get set, go, shouted the umpire. Harry raced off and disappeared almost at once. Everyone laughed as poor Tom plodded over the line. As soon as he was out of sight, Harry stopped beside a tree to rest. Just need to catch my breath. After all his early morning training, Harry was very tired. Nobody was looking. He had plenty of time to sit down for a while. He would still win the race easily. His eyes started closing. Why not have a nap? That would make it even funnier when he won the race. He settled down in the shade. Soon he was asleep. Meanwhile, Tom Tortoise was slowly making his way along the course. Most of the animals had gone straight to the finish line. Only Tom's friends stayed with him. Nobody saw Harry sleeping under his tree. Hours passed. The sun was setting and the air was cool. Harry woke with a start. Where was he? Suddenly he remembered the race. He hadn't meant to sleep for so long, but he could still beat Tom. Harry felt much better after his long nap. He did a couple of stretches, then raced off. He could see the finish line now. There was a huge crowd and they were already cheering. At that moment, he saw a small brown shell shape coming up to the line. Harry felt cold all over. Surely that wasn't Tom. He ran faster than ever before. Yes, he could do it. The cheering grew louder and louder. Look, it's Harry! Whatever happened to him? Harry dived over the line, but he was too late. Well done, Tommy! Tommy's the winner! Tom Tortoise had won, and he didn't even look out of breath. What did Tom find hard in that story? What did Tom find hard? Was he as fast as Harry the Hare? No, he wasn't, was he? And Harry the Hare kept on boasting. Harry the Hare kept on saying that he was much better than Tom Tortoise and that he could do it and Tom Tortoise couldn't. But just like last week, Tom Tortoise didn't give up, did he? He carried on. He carried on trying. He did not give up. And he ended up winning the race. And this week's puzzle piece, it's all about never giving up. It would have been easy for Tom Tortoise when he saw Harry the Hare running off into the distance to not bother. It would have been easy for him to give up and just not race. But he didn't. He carried on and he ended up winning the race. So we're going to talk about some things that were a little bit tricky for you. So it could be learning to ride a bike. It could be when you are doing a new sport, learning to score a goal in football. It could be learning to walk. It could be learning a new move at gymnastics or learning to swim. Or it could be learning new things at school. You might find that really tricky. You might find phonics really tricky. And I want you to talk to your grown-up about something you found really tricky and what you did. Did you give up? Did you carry on trying? I know that none of you will have given up. So what did you do? How did you get better? So learning to ride a bike, if we found that really tricky, what do we have to do? We have to keep practicing, don't we? If we keep practicing, we will get better. If we don't give up, we will get better. It's the same with phonics. If we find phonics really hard, we've got to keep practicing. So it's about not giving up. So I would like you, with your grown-up, to think of something that you found really tricky, and maybe your grown-up will share something about something they found really tricky and what you did to get better at that thing. Now, you don't need to write anything down for this. You can just maybe ask your grown-up to film you talking, film you using your words and telling me what you found tricky and how you got better at it. I would love to see a video of you telling me all about that, telling me about a time that you didn't give up, just like Tommy Tortoise, who didn't give up in the story of the hare and the tortoise. Lovely. Well, have fun. Maybe you can find out what your grown-ups think are really tricky. That'll be exciting too. And I look forward to seeing all your videos. See you soon. Bye.